This is Aztec 101 in the ring. Real quick, I want to talk about a potential fight. Now, I know this fight may happen. I think this fight, I actually, I'm not just going to predict the winner of the fight, but I'm also going to predict this fight is going to be announced in December. It has to. Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Cotto. This fight will not just generate record-breaking numbers as far as pay-per-view buys. If it not, I think it'll break records if it is sold correctly, because I don't think that people realize this is actually a fight that can be sold to the public, whether you are a Canelo fan or a Cotto fan. It doesn't matter, even if you're not a fan of either fighters, or even if you're not even a fan of boxing, you can still sell this fight. You have a fighter who just came from his first loss ever in his career. He's young, he's hungry, and you have another fighter trying to come up who just won a fight, won convincingly by knockout. Now, you have the rivalries that everybody brings up. You have Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Whenever you have two prideful countries, you're always going to have loyal fans. And, you know, even if this doesn't generate interest in the casual boxing fan, you'll still have a lot of dedicated, prideful Puerto Ricans and Mexicans that would really love to see this fight. And everyone in between, I'm sure, can see why this fight would be highly interesting. Now, I'm going to talk about the points on each fighter, and then in the end, I'll close off by mentioning who I think is going to win that fight. But I'm going to try and make this as quickly as possible. I'm going to start off with Cotto. Cotto, in my opinion, is probably the most dangerous fighter Saul Canelo Alvarez has ever faced. I know that he just faced Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather seems almost unbeatable, but he does not seem dangerous. So, in my opinion, Miguel Cotto will be the most dangerous opponent that Saul Canelo Alvarez has ever faced. Canelo is young. He's hungry. But one thing that Cotto does have that is I think is very it's going to be very telling in this fight will be his footwork. He takes long strides. He provides enough pressure, but he's always weary of distance. His defense is actually really good. He absorbs a lot of punches through his gloves, and you know, a lot of this has to do with hand placement, and he has good habits, great habits. And so his hands are always placed where they're supposed to be. His elbows are protecting his liver. He always has a very technical way of protecting himself, even though he may look like he might be getting hit. You know, very few punches get through his guard. So that's how I feel about Cotto. Now you have Saul Canelo Alvarez. Saul Canelo Alvarez is kind of a form of many different style of boxing. You know, he has heavy hands. He has power in both hands, and even though he does have a lot of power, he also is very conservative. Not all of his punches are thrown at 100%, even though they are power. You know, he throws stiff jabs and he lands his combinations with force, but he's very accurate. So a lot of these combinations, they come in spots. He waits for them to open up. He's very cerebral, so he uses his feints to try to dictate the you know, his opponents and where they're going to move and how they're going to react, and try to see if he can find an opening or create an opening with a feint or with a jab. Uh, Usually a combination of both will, in theory, will create an opening. Now, especially if the opponent can't read you. This is this is where it gets difficult though. You have Cotto, who, even though just won, in my opinion, even though it was a great victory as far as it was entertaining, it wasn't impressive because his opponent wasn't very impressive. Um, but you have Saul Canelo Alvarez, who lost to the most impressive opponent anybody can have. So, you know, this is all a mind game, in my opinion. Is this enough momentum mentally for Cotto to perform at 100%? We'll see the same fight that happened against Trout and Canelo. Canelo, will he be able to mentally recover from his loss? This is his first loss, and even though he's a young man, he's still young. Um, So we don't know where his. As long as he can get his head straight, if he can wrap around, wrap his head around the fact that, he can come back from this, then he will also be a dangerous opponent for Cotto. I don't think either of these opponents are going to be, because of this fight, are going to be launched into a rematch with Floyd Mayweather. So if any of you think that this might happen, I highly doubt it. I mean, I really highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. But I don't want to see Cotto move up to 160. And if either fighter is going to move up to 160, maybe Canelo can move up to 160, so he can end up being, dominate his division. And there's plenty of opponents right now that are getting a lot of attention. You have Peter Quillen, you have Gennady Golovkin, you have Sergio Martinez. These are all great fights, and it just depends on whether Canelo can, would want to, because we all know he can make weight. Uh, Actually, 160, he would be a natural 160, and he would be able to walk around and kind of, be comfortable with the weight that he's already in every day. He would have maybe not a size difference, but he would definitely a size advantage, but he would definitely have the advantage of being able to know that you're gonna come in at 100% because you don't have to really drop weight to make weight. So that's just my opinion. I mean, Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Cotto. It's gonna be a great fight. I think Cotto, he's gonna come in and give it his all, but this is where my prediction video ends. I have to give you my prediction on who's going to win this fight. I gave you my little points on how I feel. Now here comes the truth. I think Saul Canelo Alvarez is going to knock out Miguel Cotto. That's my prediction. I think it's going to be a fight that may last 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds maybe. Maybe. I think it's going to be a heavy fight. To be honest, I really don't see it going past the 4th round, 5th round. That's it. That's my prediction. Reason why I think Canelo can knock out. I know I'm gonna have to explain myself, so fuck it. I might as well do it now than make another video. There's one thing that I think that Canelo is gonna drive him to finish this fight, and finish this fight impressively and early, and that's going to be the fact that he wants to not just, if he's already mentally ready to accept the fact that he can come back, he's gonna want to prove that to everyone else. And what better way than to come in and knock out Miguel Cotto? That would be huge. I think that, maybe it might not be a knockout. TKO. As long as it's technically a knockout, fuck it, I'll take it. But I imagine this ending. Uh, I imagine this ending early. I imagine this ending really early. Saul Canelo Alvarez is not just a power puncher like many people think. Maybe if he's just a power puncher, then then Floyd Mayweather is just a defensive fighter, and Gennady Golovkin is just a power puncher himself, or Tyson is just a power puncher. There's more to these fighters. They have other skills. You can't just describe them by these words. So there's much more to Saul Canelo Alvarez than just a power puncher. So I think that in this fight, his speed, his power, but most of all, his mind. I think that with his power, he'll be able to, he'll be able to gain respect enough to where his feints will create openings. His feints can create openings, and then he can land his shots. And I think that, like I said, Canelo's going to come in, and he's going to come in aggressive. And he's going to come in very aggressive. Now, does Cotto have a puncher's chance? Yes, but that's all he has, in my opinion, is a puncher's chance in this fight. That's it. So, as you guys let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Am I wrong? What? You explain yourself. What does Cotto need to do to beat Saul Canelo Alvarez? Because in my opinion, what he would need to do isn't really, it's not his style of fighting. He's not really a make you miss and counter type of guy. He's more of a absorb your punches and continue to move forward until he breaks you down type of fighter. So, what do you guys think? This is Aztec 101 in the ring. Remember to subscribe. There's going to be more videos coming, and I'm out.